If you're trying to chase two rabbits at the same time, obviously as you're facing this space and chasing one, the other one is going to get away, right? Hello, today is day 71. Day 71, and I've started my countdown, so 29 days more. Yes. So I'm glad that you are here with me again on the walk. So today we're going to talk about the power of focus. Yes, the power of focus. And I started thinking about this some few days back when my sister and I, Felicia, if you are watching, hi, we were talking about how difficult it is sometimes to just focus on something. And I started thinking about this and I said, okay, let's talk about the power of focus today. So what is focus? As usual, I'm going to attempt to define it. Focus is putting particular attention on one thing, on a single thing, like zoning your attention on that thing. That is just generally what focus is, to the exclusion of other things. Putting your attention right, laser on something. And yeah, as I was thinking of this, I thought of this proverb, we call it adage or saying, that says, if you are trying to chase two rabbits, you will end up catching none. Tell me why most of these adages and proverbs are all about animals. It's either dogs or cats or monkeys or rabbits or something. I don't know what it's the obsession with animals, but yeah, that's what that saying says, and it actually makes sense to me. Because if you're trying to chase two rabbits at the same time, obviously as you're facing this space and chasing one, the other one is going to get away, right? That makes sense. So if you're trying to focus on two things at the same time, or trying to do or pursue two goals at the same time, or two objectives at the same time, you'll be spreading your energy definitely on all the things. The energy, the time, the attention you're supposed to put on one, you'll be putting it on multiple things. And obviously by doing that, you are putting in less input and you will get less output. That's how, I'm just thinking about it. So that saying makes sense. And in this day and age where multitasking is kind of glorified, and some people even pride themselves on, oh, I can multitask, or I'm doing like 3 or 4 jobs at the same time, or sometimes even multitasking or trying to do multiple things at the same time is not even only just glorified, but sometimes it's even seen as necessary to survive in this day and age. Sometimes it's seen as you have no choice but to do it in order to achieve what you want to achieve. So what do you think? Do you think multitasking is necessary, or you don't have any choice but to multitask? You can't focus on one thing? But I want to know your comments in the comment section. So a lot of times these days we are not able to focus on one thing, and at the end of the day we end up not achieving what we want to achieve. Because focusing is so powerful, because if you don't focus, you actually have limited success in whatever. And I have a first-hand experience on that, because sometimes when I'm not able to focus on something, I find out that my energy is just dissipated all over the place. I'm not able to achieve what I want to achieve, and I'm sure that we can all attest to that. And the thing about focus is that if we don't focus, either of two things can happen. The number one thing that can happen is that the first scenario is that you get some measure of success, some measure of achievement in all the multiple things that you are trying to do, but you will not get the optimal achievement. You might get some measure of achievement, but because you have already dissipated all your energy, you have already spread yourself so thin, you will get a lower quality of achievement. It's either it's going to be lower in quality, the achievement will be lower in quantity, or lower in depth, but you're not going to get as much as you want, from that endeavor. You're not going to achieve as much as you want. The other scenario that can happen is total failure, which is the rabbit illustration. The other scenario is just you are failing in everything. So either you get a minimal amount of success or you get failure, complete failure. The point is, it is not a good thing. It's a failure. All of them is tantamount to failure because you are not achieving to the highest of your potential. So that's what makes being focused so important, and I believe that we should all, be focused in whatever we do. And as I was thinking about this focus and multitasking and everything, I want to also discuss this very interesting phenomenon where I've heard it before, and I'm sure you've heard it before, where it's just generally believed, or it's an hypothesis, that women are better at multitasking than men. What do you think? What's your opinion? I've heard this so many times that men cannot multitask. They only focus on one thing. And I was beginning to think that how true is it? And I actually went to look, if there are any studies. I like to look into research and just, verify if there are actually any studies and that's, corroborate this. And I found out that really, there wasn't really many studies. In fact, most of the studies just say multitasking is going to be detrimental to success, and there's really no gender difference. Though some few studies say that women are able to shift between one task and the other more easily than men, and that some studies also say men are able to do multiple things at the same time more than women. But in all of them, even in those ones that say that, the gender difference is very, very minute, almost insignificant, So I don't know what your thoughts are on this, because I feel that most of the evidence that we have is just anecdotal, like just based on people's personal experience, people's opinion or something. But what is your experience in this situation? Do you think that women are better multitaskers than men? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And yeah, that's it. And I just was also thinking that, in conclusion, that there are two different sets of people in this world. Some people are just really generally able to focus on things easily, while some other people are a bit more scattered. They do this, leave it, do that, leave it, and they can't focus. I would say I belong to the second group. So some of us find it more difficult to focus, either because we have multiple interests, or either because we are multi-talented. I would like to think of it better that way. In order to, instead of saying we are scattered, but yeah, whatever group we fall into, I believe that being focused is going to help us in our success. And if you know any way in which we can increase our level of focus, do share in the comment section. Any strategy, any way you can help us, to focus more, please share in the comment section so that we can all benefit from your knowledge. And yeah, I've come to the end of today's talk, and let's see how far we've gone. 33 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to see you when I'm done. I'm back. Yes, today we've talked about the power of focus. And yes, let's just look at all the areas of our lives, because this can be applied in every area of our lives. Let's look at all the area of our lives and just pick those places where we just feel that we are not achieving our goals or our objectives due to lack of focus, and let's adjust accordingly. And if you are liking the content I'm putting out on this channel, please give me a thumbs up, and I would just also like to ask you to subscribe to the channel so that we can expand the community. Yeah, so that's it for today. Let's see how far we have gone. 82 minutes. These days I seem to be walking more. I think the weather is just nice and yeah. I just find out that I've walked more than 1 hour. That's what has been happening. So that's good. So that's it for today. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Yeah, I said I'm going to be asking every day. Have you gone on your walk today? Have you? Let me know in the comment section. See you tomorrow. Bye.